Hello and welcome to a brand new Gold Doggy 4360 video, and this is a big one because it's been a while. It's been a while since I had uploaded a proper video, and today is the day. Today I will be playing Bigfoot, a small indie horror game that you can play on Steam where you run around a forest trying to hunt down Bigfoot. Now, I realise throughout the game that I'm actually not that good. I have played briefly in the past, but it hasn't gone all too well for me. So, let's hope today is a little bit different.
Hey, you, there. This is just a quick reminder. Subscribe. It means a lot. Thank you. Enjoy the video, by the way.
I initially thought about playing with some other random people because I thought maybe they would be able to help me. But then I thought about it a bit more and realised, no. This has to be a playthrough of just me and my ability to see how well I would fare in this situation. I decided to pick the character Rick because he's the only person I've played in this game before, so I'd feel more confident, and I did change the loot amount to be the max it could be, because I needed as much help as I could get. Hey, I thought I should also point out that throughout the video you will hear some snippets of me speaking during the game itself. I did not talk for most of it. There are a few moments where you'll hear my voice, so bear that in mind. As I was driving into Redwood Forest here, I didn't really know what to expect. I knew that it would be bad, as I feared very much what would be going on around me. Initial thoughts were I had a few controls wrong that I wanted to change now, as they were not the controls I remember setting them to when I first made the game, and it's pretty important, you know, to have game controls that you are comfortable with and know how to use. So yeah, I just walked straight up into my trailer and I got myself equipment, and this was important because these are the tools that I'll be using throughout the game to try and survive. So I needed to make sure I got enough of everything. Yes, the people that I would be trying to find. Will I find them? Probably not. That's not really what I'm here to do. That is the wimpy way of winning. I'm here to kill Bigfoot. However, we do find some bodies, which you'll see later on in the video. So, from previous experiences on the game, I remembered that Bigfoot cannot hunt you during your first night in the forest. At least, that's what I thought, and that was the knowledge I was going off when I started playing. So I thought I would be completely safe on night one to just go around and explore the place. I wouldn't have any worry of finding Bigfoot. So, in the trailer, I had got myself a nice little sniper rifle here, the R700, a little pistol, and a flare gun. The flare gun, from what I remembered, was a good tool, as it burned Bigfoot, stunned him a little bit, so I wouldn't have to worry too much about dealing with him at some point in a close combat situation. And you can probably tell from my scatting actions here, that actually did scare the shit out of me. I was playing this game with max volume on, okay, in a very powerful set of headphones, so I was quite scared. And yeah, the grandfather clock did not help. It was just very loud, alright? So I continued to loot up around this small village that I'd found, and I believed that this was a good place to discover, as these houses could pose as a good little fortress against Bigfoot at some point during the playthrough. Another nice little detail to mention, while I was in the village, I found myself a shotgun, which would become very handy later on. The rest of the night was just spent exploring the area that I was in to see if I can find more items. Rest assured, I had no encounter with Bigfoot on the first night, which was just what I had remembered, so I was quite happy about that. Hey look, day 2, and I have already been attacked by an animal. Not Bigfoot, but a wolf. I kind of forgot that there would be those sort of animals also in the forest that I wouldn't have to worry with. But there was, which was just great. I also found a gas can, which would be pretty helpful later on in an event that Bigfoot would attack me at some point, which I was predicting he would. I found a nice little lodge here, which I thought would be a perfect place to initiate an attack. And considering I had been a bit rusty at the game at this point, it was the perfect place to hunker down in case of a Bigfoot encounter. Fortunately, there was a trap in there, which was great, as I was desperate for those at this point, as I only had one which I got from the initial trailer. Traps are perfect for me because they stop Bigfoot where he is and allow me to get a few quick shots off on him while he's stuck in it. I also figured it would be great to have my petrol canister right next to the trap, so when he gets stuck, I could just shoot the petrol canister and he would blow up in it. But let's see how that would turn out. After a very short looting experience around me, I saw that the time was past 5 PM and about to turn night, and night 2, there you go. It was quite bad timing, so I rushed back to my camp, or my lodge, as soon as possible to try and survive and prepare for an attack. As far as I could remember, night 2 Bigfoot could start coming, so I was a bit scared. I decided to switch off the lights and hunker down for a little bit. Yes, you could say this is the wimpy strategy to winning, but who knows? It's safe to say I was in there for a while until I started hearing some ominous sounds. So what happened there? My plan completely failed. I did not realise that he had stepped on the trap, and I let him walk right past the gas can. It didn't work as well as I'd hoped to, so I decided I'd use the only other trap that I had to restart the strategy. I decided to turn on the lights because he knew I was here, so what was the point in waiting? And that also didn't work out too well for me, the gas can, as I almost died myself for being too close to the proximity. Unfortunately, he had destroyed both the traps that I had, which was not a good thing to see early on. But the rest of that night was pretty boring, so let's just cut to day 3. Ah yes, so, day 3. Day 3 was just me walking around more of the area, trying to find new landmarks and places to loot. I kind of went through a tree there, not sure how, but I did. I managed to get full on ammunition for the 2 weapons that I had. I also started to hear some more ominous music in this area, and I thought Bigfoot must be near. And we'll find out later as to why I was hearing this music, but rest assured I was very, very confused at the time. I'd also remembered that I had cameras that I could place down to look at around the area. This would prove to be quite helpful later on in knowing if Bigfoot was enclosing in on me. I found a new lodge here, which I thought would be perfect for another encounter with Bigfoot, So I started prepping the area, making sure it was soup. After quickly checking the time, I decided I may have to stay here for the time being until night would pass. I sat here for quite a while this night, as I was sure that Bigfoot would attack me at any moment. So yeah, to save you the trauma, night 3 was incredibly boring. There was no attempt of an attack, so in the morning I decided to walk out and just continue exploring. Yeah, I just saw him just casually walking around, which was just great. I knew he was active, but he still decided not to attack me that night, which, spoiler alert, happens quite a lot. The direction that he had ran on the map was sort of the area that I wanted to explore next, but I was kind of scared for myself. Knowing that he'd run in that general area means that he would be there, and I didn't want to go anywhere near where he was, as there was a chance that I could be attacked during the day, which is not something that I was prepared for. It was good to see a second village that I could begin looting. Villages are normally quite helpful. It's where I found the shotgun that I was using quite a lot at the moment. And yes, there was another trap. I had been saved. Traps were going to be beneficial to my survival, so I was quite happy that I found one. Something that I was also kind of concerned about now was health packs. I didn't want to run out of them at any point while I was fighting Bigfoot, so I wanted to make sure I had enough, and I did have 5, which would have been helpful, but I'd often use at least 1 during an encounter, and considering Bigfoot had encountered me twice during that one night on night 2, it kind of made me think that maybe I would need a lot more than I already had. So I decided that this hut here would become my fortress for the evening. I decided to put up some cameras outside just so I knew where he would be if he was coming into the village. Made sure to switch off all the lights, place down a gas canister, and hide in the corner to continue my strategy that I had been doing since night 2. So, hey, I'll save you the time and tell you this. He did not come to attack me once during this night, so it was quite a boring night for me again. I did look around, obviously not go outside, but look around through the windows to see if I could see him stalking me again, like I presumed he was doing on night 3. So let's just cut to day 5. So on day 5, I was going to explore the area that I had wanted to the night before, and now I knew that Bigfoot would have most likely walked away from this area. I felt quite safe here, and I wasn't too concerned that I would see him. And yes, I found the first body of the playthrough. It was the Peter guy from notes that I'd seen around the place, written by someone called Monica, so I already feel bad for Monica if she was alive, knowing that this Peter person was dead. I continued exploring more northwards to see if I could find another place to call base, and that is when I found the best place in existence. Let me introduce you to Fort's Gold Doggy. It is not the Fire Watchtower, no. This is my fort now. I was going to make this place a base. The fact that it had a zip wire away, a nice inside, some loot as well, I felt pretty secure. There was also a green vault box in here, which I could use to get myself better weapons if I was to find the code. Night 5 was a night I was expecting an attack. It had been far too long since my last Bigfoot encounter, so I thought that maybe this night would be the night. Then, stupidly, I found the note on the floor to that box, which, hindsight, was quite dumb, but that is when I found the weapon that I made a promise to myself I would use to kill Bigfoot. There was also something else inside the cabin that would be helpful for me. Let me know if you see that, because I did not until a few days later. My initial plan was to see him walking up the ladder, shoot him a little bit, and then while he was stuck on that trap, shoot the gas canister from round the back. And then I thought, well, while he's running up the rest of the way, what if I put a petrol canister there and I can shoot that, dealing more damage while still shooting him, and then I could just hop through the window that was there round the back inside the building and lead him away again. It was the perfect plan. I then made the discovery of the night vision camera, which was my new favourite tool. It allowed me to see what was around in the night, obviously, and I kind of hoped that it would show me heat vision as well. It would be a thermal camera, but it wasn't after I viewed a pig and it was just a little bit of a shadow, which was kind of disappointing as it means I wouldn't have a clear line of sight as to where Bigfoot was. Once again, night 5 was quite boring, I'm not gonna lie. I was hoping for my big Bigfoot fight this night, but it didn't happen, which was quite disappointing. The only other important thing that happened this night was I discovered my new favourite song. While we're here, I thought I might as well ask, hey, would you mind subscribing if you haven't already? It means a lot, as this is something that I genuinely enjoy doing, and you will see a lot more of me in the coming future. This evening had not been the greatest of successes, so I decided to just go out and explore a little bit more. Yeah, so what happened there was, that was a trap Bigfoot had set, and I started to remember, oh yes, he can trap trees in the forest and make them a lot harder for me to spot, which was quite annoying. So, another encounter with Bigfoot, which meant he was still there. He was just deciding to not be active during the night, which was just brilliant, as that was the one thing I was hoping he would do for this video. As I went back to the trailer, I found something that I'd clearly missed, which was the tablet allowing me to see the cameras remotely. I also then thought, well, if I forgot about the tablet, maybe I forgot about some other stuff. And I found a chunk of meat just sitting there in the trailer. Very helpful for me, as you can lay meat on traps, which would be helpful to lure Bigfoot towards me. I decided night 6 will be the night that I get Bigfoot to attack me. So, night 6, back at Fort Gold Doggy, and I was hoping that tonight would be the night. I decided to reset up the traps that I had, do a little bit of a dance as well to my favourite song, which I left on. And also I would have a look on the cameras, which proved to be not very helpful. I also remembered then I should probably lay the trap with the meat that I'd gained from the trailer, as I thought that would draw him towards me a little bit more. This night proved to be rather unhelpful once again, and there wasn't a lot going on at the beginning. I also wanted to test out one of the GPS trackers that I'd collected, as I wasn't quite sure what they did, and now it was just there making an annoying noise, and I didn't know how to get rid of it. After yet another useless night of no Bigfoot coming to attack me, I started to think that maybe Bigfoot was broken. Which there wasn't much I could do about it, but it did start to lead to eternal boredom, which I'm sure a lot of people will experience when playing this game. If you couldn't tell by now, I'm not the biggest fan. That roar had indicated to me that he was close by. And now that I'd seen a camera that was near me had gone off, I started to think, okay, maybe he is actually going for me. And then the closest camera to me went off, which told me he was near. And the music began playing once more. Then it stopped, and that's when I saw him. But you know what? I saw him briefly, just like that. I shot him once, maybe twice, and he just buggered off, which was great. Oh, nope, he came back. Oh, no, he's gone again. I decided I would chase him down as I could not let scum like that escape me this easily. And that's what I did. I'm quite a bad shot with a mouse and keyboard, I'm not going to lie. But I did a little bit more damage. It's the little bits that count. That day, after seeing that my plan had once again failed, I decided, let's just go and explore the area again. And I would put a camera near the bottom of my zip wire, so in case he was down there, I would know not to go through my zip wire. I then started to see his health was going down a little bit, and I thought, how could his health be going down? And then I checked the cameras. That's right, the camera right next to my fort had gone off, and I thought, oh no, the only way he would have taken damage was via the trap that I had placed down before. As I returned to Fort Gold Doggy, my fear had come true. He had attacked while I wasn't in, which was very annoying. It also meant I had no more traps, which wasn't a big deal at the moment considering Bigfoot had not attacked me for the last 6 nights, and I was starting to get quite annoyed at him. Most of this day had already been spent wasting time just looking around, trying to find Bigfoot after his little attack on my tower, so not much progress happened today. Let's just go straight into night 7. No, let's not. It's important to note that he had destroyed one of the cameras that I had placed down. That meant he was active still, but still not being that helpful. Night 7. Tonight was the night I was certain, okay, he has not attacked me since night 2, surely he should be attacking me. And then, the camera right outside my base was destroyed. This meant he was here, and I was certain I was about to die. I even turned off my sacred radio to try and listen for Bigfoot. But, you know what happened? There was not an attack from Bigfoot this night, and there also was no signs of activity, which was brilliant for someone trying to make a content-filled video. Thanks, Bigfoot. Thanks a lot. Most of day 8 was just the same old days you would spend in the game. I was exploring areas that I hadn't properly been to yet. There was one near the body of Peter that I had wanted to check out earlier on, but could never get there as the one day I decided to, Bigfoot decided to walk into my base. It was a cave. And I thought, well, I now know where Bigfoot has been hiding. This is surely his cave, right? But then it struck me, maybe it wasn't. There were lanterns down here, there were camps set up, and I thought, no, Bigfoot surely is not living in this luxurious lifestyle. I also found a radio, and I decided, well, if he is, he might want some of these pretty cool tunes on. After exploring in the cave a little bit more, there wasn't much of interest down here, except a couple bones. The only other important thing to note was that there was a night vision camera, which would have been perfect for me because I was fairly certain that my one was dying. At this sort of time, I noticed that it was getting into the evening period of the game, and I thought, well, if Bigfoot attacks me while I'm down here, I'm pretty screwed. There's not a lot I can do to defend myself. So I needed to get out as soon as possible and get back to Fort Gold-Doggy, as that would be where I would spend night 8 again. Once back at the fort, I'd thought, okay, now I've said this the last 3 nights, tonight is going to be the night. But you know what? It, once again, just wasn't. Most of night 8 was spent just bumming around the place, doing more surveillance with my night vision camera. Not a lot happened. I also remembered that because I had picked up a camera from the bottom of my zip wire, it would be good if I went to place that near the front of the watchtower so I could have a look in night vision that from down there. All in all, night 8, very boring. Let's just cut to day 9. Day 9 began with me going down the zip wire to do some more exploration of the area that I was in. I decided I would stretch out a little bit further today, as there surely wasn't much more that I could find where I was, and I wanted to find something new. Oh yeah, remember that noise I heard a few days ago that I thought was Bigfoot? No, it was apparently just the entrance to another cave with more bones in it, and that's when I realised the bones were the exact same model as the bones from another game that you'll be seeing on this channel very, very soon, Phasmophobia, and I thought, wow, that is quality game management, you know, using the same model. But I didn't think anything of it because it wasn't too important. Those bones mean absolutely nothing to someone. I did see Bigfoot once again in the day, and I decided I would attack him. And this was the first encounter where he would actually attempt to fight back. But it once again was a complete failure for me and him. He didn't kill me, and I was nowhere near killing him yet. After finding another village, I thought this is getting very tedious now, and I just want to kill him. I just want to play the game. I did find some fireworks, which would be pretty helpful, considering they act like petrol canisters and gas canisters, and I could use them to attack Bigfoot if he was coming near me. I decided to spend night 8 exactly where I'd spent night 3, in the original cabin that I found a few nights before. And hey, guess what? Do you think Bigfoot attacked this night? Well, you're probably correct, because no, he didn't. I started to get really bored with this guy at this point, as I was just really hoping for some sort of an attack, but it just wasn't happening, so I decided to just play around in this house. And here's a little house tour of me in the time. Okay, so house tour, front porch, spacious. Chair, so I can watch them come inside. Rope. Yeah, rope. Boxes. Oh, yeah. So this is my cooking utensils, more rope. Frying pan. Some coffee cups, I suppose. Cooler, my radio, obviously. A box with what looks like sticks. Maybe folded up boxes. I don't know. bug repellent, I think that is. What does it say on there? Caution, bug repellent, I reckon. I had a few jam spillages at breakfast time. Book that I'm actually reading about UFOs, I think. Unless that's just a top hat. Or fedora, sorry. But yes. This is Bigfoot. I don't really know. Anyway, I've got a keg. Oh. Hunter found dead. Arizona. Oh, I'm in Arizona. Oh, that's just disappointing. Clock, grandfather clock. Window's broken, so I thought I'd board it up. Lounge in here with books. That's actually my backpack, empty. Bin, I think, bin. I sleep here. Again, more jam spillages. I'm a bit of a jam connoisseur, you see. It's just the problem. Outhouse there, I'd like to add. There is an outhouse. We don't need to worry about the toilet roll by my bed. That is a bit weird. This is a reindeer. There's nothing suspicious about the reindeer at all. Nothing. This is a photo of a bear I took. In fact, I'm actually going to take some photos now. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed a nice little house tour that I gave you there. Yes, that is my real life house, actually. That is my real life house. So yeah, let's just cut straight to day 9. So now that day 9 had arrived, I decided, okay, this is the final day that I'm going to spend in this forest because I cannot be bothered to stay here anymore. By the time I was recording this, it was like 1 in the morning. And it was just not... I was too tired, alright? I was too tired to continue. So I just thought, oh, you know what? This is the night I'm going to deal as much damage to him as possible. But, you know what? Who knows if that happens? I'm not going to say. I'd also spotted the other night, while I was looking through the cameras, that there was a drone option, which was something I completely forgot about. So I wanted to head to the trailer to go and find myself the drone, as I thought it would be a fun toy to play around with. And rest assured, that is what most of day 9 was spent doing, was flying around with a drone. I also saw there was a stun option, which I certainly wanted to try out. But that took out pretty much all of my battery power, which was just great to see. Okay, now here was night 9. I decided that for night 9 I was going to get back to Fort Gold Doggy, as it was important that I would take my final night here in the main base, if you know what I'm saying, you know. So hey, it's also important to note that I'm actually starting to lose my mind, because apparently it was night 10. I was starting to lose my mind in this forest, that I was a whole day behind. I decided that for this night, I was just going to play around on the drone, see if I could spot a Bigfoot. Hey, I'll save you the struggle of having to sit through this night with me. Guess what? Bigfoot did not attack this night. And you know what? I'm not going to lie. I could not be bothered to play anymore. I was starting to get very upset with Bigfoot. I was expecting a huge war against him this night, but no, it wasn't going to happen. So you know what? That's it. I just straight up left the game out of pure anger.